you any idea? It's like, what are that?
Well, you're training pretty hard. Yeah, do you want a bit of a circuit or supersetting?
I kind of like supersetting.
Yeah. Gone pretty hard?
Not so much at the moment. I've done my main work, which is where I put the intensity in.
Yeah.
Now it's kind of just more like, almost like some light structural balance work, just to keep my joints happy so that as my comp lifts continue going up, I don't have too sore a body.
I kind of like look at everyone and their style. I look at you and I think you're very much of a problem solver. Yeah? Is that fair to say?
Yeah, like I would say like my skill set and strength as a coach is probably more so looking at how someone moves and then identifying where sort of the weak links are within that movement and being able to put together a plan in order to prevent like, you know, whether it be like elbow pain after low bar squatting or something like that. That's an easy fix in my opinion.
Yeah, because just watching you, you're very like, I think maybe systematic or structured, but also like fluid at the same time, like in the way you go about it. It's not like too stringent.
There's a quote by Jordan Shallow, who's Muscle Doc. There's I may fuck this one up, but it's like being sort of firm in the overall principle of what we're trying to achieve, but fluid in the way in which we get there. So like I know where I want to go.
Yeah.
Ideally, I want to go in as straight line as possible because obviously that's the easiest and most efficient pathway possible.
Yeah.
But if I have to go over here and then come back over here and zigzag my way there, like I'm still getting there, I'm just changing the way in which I get there.
Okay.
That's more or less how I approach everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay. So pat on the back for me for being a good judge of character then. No, that's, I like that. I like how you said that because there's never a clear path to where you want to get to.
But that when people are too married to numbers or too married to approaches, it's the whole saying of like, if the only tool you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail.
Yeah.
I like to try and keep my toolbox versatile.
Very cool.
Makes my life a hell of a lot easier.
Yeah. So you like to help people?
Yeah, honestly, man, I think that's like why most people get in the industry and get into the role of coach.
Yeah.
I think everybody innately, as much as, I mean, it's a funny one. Like, I think everybody at some point is like I want to help people, but I also feel that like a lot of the areas which coaches specialize in is like what they've missed in whether it be in a coaching experience or like in childhood is kind of going to speak volumes in their approach to coaching. So if like, for example, if you get some people who are like very nurturing in their approach, maybe didn't have like what they sort of deemed to be like adequate support as a kid, or whether it's in another coaching experience or something like that.
Okay.
It's the whole like voids dictate values kind of thing.
So sounds like you're talking more about like the psychological side of things as well as a physiological side. No?
Reps and sets are easy. It's the hard part. And I think a lot of people forget the fact that like in a coaching role, you deal with people. Like people have emotions, they have baggage, they have things that are going to make them tick in certain ways that frankly, like if you just ignore, you kind of miss the whole part of like personal training. Like, it's got to be personal. I think if people miss that, then they just like, there's a big chunk of the puzzle that they're just trying to like dance around, even though technically it's not within our scope of practice. I think understanding human behavior is important for our role as coaches.
Two things you said there, personal training, because that's a word that gets thrown around. I'm a personal trainer. You do a 3-month course or whatever and you become a personal trainer, but then the behavior side of things is on a whole nother level, right? So like getting down to why people do what they do and getting the best out of them, I guess that's where the trigger is, like, or finding those buttons.
But that's where the magic happens as well from a coaching perspective. You know, I can sit there and say to someone, hey, if you want to squat 200 kilos, here is the recipe in which we kind of follow to get from point A to point B. But if for whatever reason, the way that I'm explaining to that person, they go, no, I don't believe you, or for whatever reason, they've got hold-ups about that sort of approach. Like, there are some people that will be phenomenal at rep work. There are some people that will be phenomenal at like skill, like displaying skill.
Yeah.
If you get someone who is phenomenal at, say, like doing single reps, and you say to them, hey, we've got to squat for sets of 10, or whatever it ends up being, and they don't have buy-in, you need to find a way to kind of flip that to show them, be like, look, I know you don't believe me, but based on this, and this is how these things together get you to where you want to be. So if you keep going the way that you are, you're going to end up here and you're always going to fall short. But if then you can figure out what makes a person tick, you can then like reverse engineer your approach to coaching.
And then you get the buy-in from, yeah.
Like, it's the whole thing, like, I can sit there in a room full of people and say the exact same sentence I've just said now, and with 10 different people, there's about 10 different people who have experienced it 10 different ways.
Of course.
Whether someone's more of a visual learner, like audio learner or kinesthetic learner, like, it's going to differentiate how people are going to absorb information. Like, there are some people that I coach that I have to give really weird cues to, that to me I'm like,
weird for you,
yeah,
but obviously
like,
it's their triggers.
But that's the thing, like, to me I go, well, this makes absolutely no sense to me whatsoever, but the way that I'm putting the words together, it makes sense for this person.
Correct.
Therefore, like, I don't care if it sounds weird. If it works for that person, yeah, it's not about me, it's about them.
Tell me about when things don't work out for yourself and how you handle your failures.
The way I kind of look at it, I'm like, everything's just experience. I don't see it as good or bad, I'm just like, it's just experience.
But in the moment though?
In the moment, it can be pretty tough, because obviously you get like, it's a pretty emotional experience when you go in there for a lift that you think you should have hit and you miss it.
Yeah. So for mine, there's like, you're about to answer it in a way that what I'd like to be like and what I actually feel like in the moment. And then getting to that level of like, I don't know if it's professionalism or elite, like, you know, you go through failures and then, but how do you respond from like the passion of it and the emotion of it?
I think it just comes down to like experience as a lifter as well. Like, early on, like, if I missed something that like I was pretty convinced I was going to get,
yeah,
you get pretty salty. But I think as your maturity as a lifter develops, it's more of along the lines of like, okay, cool, like, for whatever reason, whether it's a technical flaw or for the thing that most people don't like to admit is you just weren't strong enough in the day. Like, I think getting to a point where you're not married to numbers and you kind of just like, on the day I do like what I can do on the day. And it's not necessarily about going, okay, if I don't hit this, like...
I don't want to interrupt you.
Yeah.
So you speak about not being married to numbers, but when you're in a numbers game where you got to, you know, hit 9 from 9 and, you know, or if you want to hit 9 from 9, whatever your strategy is on the day, and then, you know, you got a particular number you want to get for the day as a total or squat dead bench. How do you be married or engaged to it or divorce from it or separate from it? What I'm trying to say is, like, how do you connect and disconnect without making it be the be all or end all? Like, is it like you saying, don't focus too much on the result, focus on the, like, just on one thing at a time? Or does that make sense?
It does. I feel like it's such a deep question to answer properly. Like, I feel like it's the kind of thing where it's like, let's say for example, like, my best competition squat's 280. Now, I know for a fact that I don't have a 300 kilo squat in me for this comp in 4 weeks time, but if I was like, no, I'm going to hit a 300 and then I fall short, I've been unrealistic with my approach.
Yeah.
So I feel like in order for me not to get like too emotional if, let's say, I screw up on the day, is to set realistic targets. Like at the Arnold's, like I hit a realistic second attempt and I fucked it up. For me, it was a matter of going, okay, I made a dumb mistake and that's cost me potentially taking the third that I want, but I'm after a total non-individual lift. Yeah. Unless I'm going in there going, my goal for this competition is a 300 kilo squat and then everything else is going to be total.
Okay.
Like I think it kind of depends on what you're trying to achieve from the competition. If you're trying to achieve a total, it's no longer about individuals.
Yeah, correct.
So I think being realistic with what you want your outcome to be. If you want your outcome to be a big lift, focus on that. The other ones then take a bit of a backseat.
Yeah, yeah.
If the goal is to go big lifts across the board and a big total, everything leading up to that point kind of needs to facilitate that already.
We've always been taught to focus on the total.
It's a total sport.
Yeah, right. Through your experiences as like in like competing in powerlifting.
Yep.
Would that help you then like offer advice to your athletes on the day?
Yes and no. Like learning how to sort of deal with the emotions around potentially like a failed lift when you know it's within your capabilities to do that lift.
Yeah.
That's something like you kind of have to go through the fire to understand the feeling of what it feels like to get burned. I can sit there and go, oh yeah, like it feels really hot. You know, it's going to feel like your skin's tingling. You can't really do anything about it. But until you experience it firsthand,
yeah,
like you don't know how you're going to react to a situation until you're in it. I can sit there and go, well, you know, if this happens, this is going to be your feeling afterwards, and this is what we want to try and do to like stop that from spiraling out and ruining the rest of the day. So sometimes it might be the kind of thing. Let's say someone misses their third bench press, and they're like, "Oh, that was a bench press I know I could hit." Instead of them getting so caught up on the moment of being like, "Oh, like I missed my third bench, day's done." It's like, well, no, like you've still got your deadlifts to do. Like, give yourself 5 minutes, go be emotional,
yeah,
collect yourself, come back in. Like, if I'm going to tell someone like, "Cool, go off, be emotional," I'm like, leave the competition area so you don't bring those negative energies into that space. It's very much like leave the gym, go for a bit of a walk, vent, do your thing, come back, compose yourself, do your deadlifts.
So on social media and in I guess social community, not the social media, you see a lot of stuff about mental health now, yeah?
Yeah.
So through celebrities and through athletes, through just regular people, experiencing these things, and maybe 5-10 years ago, they weren't really spoken about. And just specifically to your sport, we were talking about like having that physical strength, but also that mental strength. Like, how do you think this sport helps or doesn't help with, being mentally strong, or helping with, let's say depression or anxiety or things of that nature?
I think, again, like this is sort of pulling on more anecdotal experience than like scientific explanation, but like, and I'm sure a lot of people would agree with me here, it's more of an outlet. So you might be sitting there going like, I've had an absolute shit of a day, stressed out, just like overwhelmed. I've got all this like emotional energy stored up that I don't really know what to do with. Sometimes this can be your best friend.
Yeah, yeah.
Like whether it's like heavy squat, heavy bench press, heavy deadlift, like it's a really good way for you to exert that and then have a sense of accomplishment.
Yeah.
Again, like I think like you find more and more that a lot of people within the powerlifting realm are like being a lot more transparent about mental health issues, and I think it's phenomenal because I think it's one of those things that the more people talk about it, the less stigma there is around it.
Yeah, of course. Especially when people might, have the perception that powerlifting or, weightlifting or any kind of lifting sport in general is an individual sport, but it's quite the opposite. It's very much a team support, family, like built on that kind of culture and environment.
It's the whole, like again, like I know I've come up with like a few cliche sayings in the last little bit, but it's the whole thing of like, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together.
Yeah, like I often think that with cliches, like they're only cliches if you don't practice them, but they actually cliches are awesome if you actually, do practice what you preach, I guess.
Well,
Another cliche.
Like, you come in here on like a Sunday when there's a few people in here like going for like heavy squats or heavy benches or heavy deadlifts or whatever it is. Like, someone will go for their lift. Everybody stops to support them.
Yeah.
Like if I've got a heavy squat, like I've got someone who comes in particularly to wrap my knees for me.
Yeah.
I've got 3 people that spot me. 1 person who works the gate. There's 4 people that I need in my corner for me to be able to do 1 competition.
You get people that actually feel like, why do you need all that? Why do you need all that? Like, what do you say to those kind of people?
Why not?
Okay.
Like at the end of the day, I'm the one that has to get up on that platform, get under the barbell and lift it. But at the end of the day, in a competition, I have someone who stands behind me. I have people that stand side by side with me to keep me safe. I have someone who works the gate. But not only that, it's a team. And it's the most individual team sport you'll ever be.
That's true. The other question is, so on the other spectrum of people coming in to this gym for the first time, or just in general, gyms may experience gym anxiety, especially when they see the big guys and girls lifting in here.
Yeah.
What I've been saying to them is that, instead of being intimidated by it, why don't you look at it as, these guys are elite guys that, they have time for you, they're actually amazing people. You can pick their brain and just go to the next level. Like if you go to a commercial gym, you might not have people like you in this gym that can...
Examples, Gwen.
Yeah, that can offer that. Exactly. Wayne's amazing like that. He gives you your time of day.
He's one of the top 3 squatters in the country.
Yeah.
On Sunday, my first rap set, which was nice and easy weight. He's on the other side of the gym. His first thing is yelled out, like, do you need a squat? Now, for a guy who's as elite as he is, to literally put his training onto the side for a split second, come over and make sure that other people are sorted, like, unbelievable.
So that's where it starts with culture and leadership and care and support.
100%.
So if someone's brand new, if a lady comes in or a guy comes in, they haven't stepped into a gym for years or never before,
yeah.
They might see a guy like Wayne, big boy, they might think, oh, this gym's not for me, but it's quite the opposite.
Anyone that's spoken to G will know that he's the biggest fucking cuddly teddy bear.
Yeah.
You see when he's getting ready for a squat.
Yeah.
He's intense.
That's right.
But it's because he has to be at that split second of time. Talk to him any other day and he's walk around, big smile on his face, he's always happy, always approachable. Same goes for anyone in this gym though. Like, you could literally walk up to any of the people in here and be like, hey, can I steal you for 2 seconds? I just need to spot on this. And they're like, yeah, sure, no worries. They'll come over, more than happy to help.
And that's based on their culture.
But it's kind of the thing as well, like, I think, especially like in the powerlifting realm, like powerlifting is such an inclusive sport. Like, it doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter what, what you can do or what you can't do. Like, it's very, very inclusive. Like, obviously there are events like PRORAW which have like a standard, but they're a level competitions. You go to a novice comp or even like just local comps. There's no like minimum qualifying for it. It's just like you come in, you lift, you have fun. Everybody gets the same thing. It's phenomenal in that sense that like you're never told that you can't.
Yeah.
What's your name?
My name's Ben.
And what do you do?
I'm a strength coach.
Out of?
So I coach out of here at PRORAW Gym, and then I also coach out of a gym in Balaclava.
And how can we contact you?
Either mobile, email, or social media.
All right, and you're Ben or?
At Ben Mach, so BenMach. That's my Instagram handle. It's probably the easiest way to get a hold of me.
Awesome. Thanks, Ben.